Right, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GSA Any Percent tournament as far as Super Mario Odyssey is concerned. And with this race between and CoinKirby, this is going to be a pretty exciting one. Obviously, Chaospringle, literally the best player in the world right now. And CoinKirby, on the other side, has run the game for a lot as it basically came out, has improved his PB a little further these days. But now, recently, he hasn't been playing much. He's still playing the game occasionally, and he definitely wants to get back into it. His potential is huge. And yeah, can't wait for this one. Chaospringle, obviously, literally the best player in the world record holder, very scarily consistent, one of the tournament favorites. However, that would be the coolest upset to see ever if CoinKirby was actually able to make something work here. But I think we are getting ready immediately. There's not going to be any interviews today because we actually are a little bit behind schedule, as you guys might have noticed. And yeah, I do have Yo-Yo joining me for this one on call commentary. What's up, Yo-Yo?
Hello, I'm doing good today.
That's nice because this one is definitely going to be an interesting one. As obviously, it's always nice to watch Chaos run. He's literally the best in the world, and
Yeah.
I'm hyped to see what he has prepared, what he has up his sleeve. And obviously, Coin, pretty mechanically skilled gamer in general. He's really good at like Smash games as well. That makes me interested how this one could potentially actually go, because I mean, everybody wants to see like the upset, but then again, Chaos is such a scary, consistent player. I guess we'll just watch and judge.
Yeah, but are getting
both runners starting in cap as always. Actually, Coin always used to be one of the best players as far as Cap Kingdom goes. And I remember him, like back in the day, I remember him getting Chaospringle starting with an unintentional dive there. Unfortunate. I remember Coin from now actually getting really good times with the right side movement. He was getting close to like getting a 220 on the right at the cap tower. Pretty interesting.
pretty much even right now.
Pulling ahead here at the start of the, I guess frog section here. This is officially now inside of the cap tower as Chaospringle captures this frog. And Coin actually make speed here with better vectoring. Is this weird air mechanic, and Coin actually coming out ahead at the end of this room. You basically tilt yourself like 40 gain some additional speed. Coin actually not able to make it work though, so Chaos is gonna come out on top at the start of top. Alright, Chaos getting some really nice hits in. Finishing the fight easily.
Chaos is a bit ahead going out of Cap Kingdom into Cascade Kingdom.
And with that, we are literally on our way. And this is a double, as far as I'm concerned, a double 1.0 race. 1.0 being the release version, not even the release version of the game, being the first version that basically was available on a cartridge. Obviously, players do reset to this version to be able to perform the first moon skip. Skipping the first moon, skipping some cutscenes, getting an additional replacement moon and saving around. These days, probably more than 25 seconds with what's called the wet or like water FMS. Chaos is approaching that right now. Basically jumping across that water section to make the trick a little bit easier. Yeah, it looks like Chaos actually going to be going for the wall jumpless version of the Coin, playing it safe, getting the wall jump in.
Yeah, Chaos did mess up a bit of the movement afterwards. He accidentally did a side flip.
Coin also ledge grabbing, so definitely not optimal for him there. Chaos still with a lead approaching Dino Skip, but it's actually fairly close so far. Chaos definitely not on his A game as far as Cap Kingdom was concerned, but let's see if Cascade Kingdom is gonna change the pace here. Not a brutal fight. Pretty Chaos actually definitely he might actually be a little nervous because this is super uncommon to see from Chaos here. Mistakes in this fight, that's something you don't see when he's doing attempts.
So CoinKirby now a little bit ahead after that little mistake that Chaos made.
Very interesting, very interesting. Is this gonna be the upset of the century? It's obviously way too early to tell that, but Coin actually being able to sneak in a little bit of a lead due to the mistake there in the boss fight from Chaos.
So now they're just going to be getting 2 quick moons, and then they will be moving on to Sand Kingdom. And we're going to be seeing in a sec probably chest clip, where we're going to be using the moon to clip into the ceiling to make it a bit quicker. And
looks
I think,
looks like Coin might have missed it.
So it definitely puts Chaos ahead, and CoinKirby also messed this jump back up twice.
Oh, he's really struggling there. And actually, chest clip is a pretty precise trick already, but the movement you skip with it, and you see that is actually not as easy to perform, especially these days, since runners are super used to actually do chest clip. Sometimes this movement can get a little bit hard for these runners, and I actually know exactly what Coin is going through at this moment, because you are just not used to do this movement, and obviously losing quite a hefty amount of time to these 3 fails there.
Yeah, that definitely put him behind a bit. But meanwhile, Chaospringle now heading straight to Sand Kingdom.
So I do want to quote Coin here from back in the day. He used to say this very motivational quote: "Sand is free." So I'm very interested to see if that's actually going to go well for him. Obviously, Sand being one of the more mechanical kingdoms. Like if you just play the game very well mechanically, if you're able to get the clean angles and get good fast inputs for like swing slip and stuff, and obviously like the fast nodes, this is your place to thrive in. And this is potentially a good place where Coin can do something. Let's see if Chaos can play up to his usual level, because he has been looking a little bit off and a little bit nervous. So I'm interested to see if he's actually going to be able to pull it back on track, especially with stuff like Dram coming up, where he actually used to
CoinKirby now entering Sand as well. Still a little bit behind, but definitely can make up time in Sand Kingdom if he does it well.
Yeah, definitely. Chaosopher playing well though, and obviously we do see Coin missing that spin pound there. These are like the minor things that in the overall, like in the entirety of Sand, they do add up, and that's actually what differentiates a good Sand between like a good Sand from a like really good Sand. Just getting all of these little tricks right, and Chaos not able to get the spin pound there immediately. Looks like he is going to be setting up for Dram here. And it looks like it's going to be the classic one. No ice included, just up throw Cappy here.
Looks
Dive into
good.
the corridor. Yeah, this should work.
And yeah. CoinKirby also approaching Dram.
Just on top of the Arcway Moon here. Very quick spin pound there from Coin. Definitely a little bit cleaner there.
He's going.
But looks like he's actually just going to skip it. And it's definitely a respectable decision if you don't feel super confident with the trick, because it only actually saves around 2.5 seconds. So if you do go for it but mess up, that will actually result in a bigger time loss.
Yeah.
It looks
and
like
also, CoinKirby going for the CoinKirby going for the.
Yeah, it's not really the fastest version option anymore that you get to make here, but on the other end, Chaospringle actually getting a very nice first try Sphinx clip. That's really what he wanted. Looks like a pretty solid double clip as well. So he is actually off to a pretty good Sand here, pretty mistakeless so far. This is the Chaos we actually know.
Yeah.
previously struggling a little bit. Maybe Ray's nerves. I think this is his first race, so it's definitely fair to bring up that someone like him in this position could be nervous, just because he's definitely obviously always expected to do well. But we do see Coin setting up for swing slip here, same backflip setup, and he actually single clip approach as well, definitely respectable for a race like this. It is the safer option. It's just more suitable for a race. Chaos, world record holder that he is, going for double clip anyways, but that's kind of close, but saving the movement nicely for Chaos.
So Chaospringle just needing a few more moons, and then he will be out of Sand Kingdom.
Exactly. And Chaos is, however, actually going to be in the need to collect the Notes Moon. This is a moon that Coin will actually be able to skip. Oh, Chaos missed that spin point. Just because he picked up the Crates Moon earlier. But it is actually, optimally, it's faster to get notes. It's pretty hard to get them faster. So let's see if Chaos is going to be able to. With this, looks like this is pretty clean so far. Fast spin throw. And this looks solid.
Yeah, didn't necessarily get it in one spin throw, but he got the last two quickly anyway. And now he will be leaving and going to Lake Kingdom. CoinKirby just needs 3 more moons, and then he as well will be moving along to Lake Kingdom.
Exactly, and I actually want to hear a little prediction from you, Yo-Yo. So Chaos has actually been doing Lake Clip in his recent runs, just as far as attempt score. I think if he was like on super hot pace, he might have skipped on it. Speed isn't tremendous right now. Do you think he's gonna go for Lake Clip today?
I don't know, cause I mean, how much has he been getting it?
I think his consistency was decent or like average. I've seen people struggle more with it. However, it was definitely not flawless. And I'm definitely sure he is kind of nervous the way he's been playing previously. The thing with Lake Clip, though, it's not anything like Nut Clip, which we are going to be seeing later in the run. It doesn't really come with many risks. Obviously, you can miss it and it's not optimal. But you don't really, like, the run doesn't really suffer too much. Maybe you lose like 3-4 seconds. So it's not the worst, unless you really commit for it and lose a lot of time because you are just so desperate to get it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He might go for it, but it might be a bit risky. He might just want to be playing it safe and just gonna do the regular route. I don't know. We're gonna have to see because he is approaching it after this moon.
Yep. Open the zipper real quick. The moon at the hidden passageway. And this is going to be where his decision is going to come up. And it looks like he's actually setting up for it. Looks like, oh, missing the clip there. Not actually clipping through the wall. You want to kind of make Cappy clip into this wall. Go out of bounds, and this looks good. If he's able to wall jump here, up throw to get the checkpoint, it actually gets it. Very nice. We definitely will get the chance to talk about this more in the future since people are actually doing it now, but very nice moon grab as well. And now we might see, I want you guys to focus on Chaos right now. We might see him actually switching to Joy-Cons just for this specific trick coming up. Optimally, you want to use your Joy-Cons on the upcoming moon here because you are able to down throw to the cheap, which is optimal here. So let's see if he actually did switch to Joy-Cons. It looks like he is down frame, but actually hits the lower cheap. Very unfortunate. That was not what he wanted, but he did end up actually switching to Joy-Cons. This is going to be his time now to switch back to the Pro-Con, and now he's going to be playing from at the Pro with the Pro controller from now on again. But what this will actually, you see Coin on the Pillar Moon right now. After this, Coin is going to be fighting Rango, the boss of Lake. But Chaos is going to be getting an additional moon, and then it's going to be able to skip the entirety.
Yeah. To do is just one more moon in this secret room over here. And then, yeah, he's going to be leaving right away, but CoinKirby's going to have to defeat Rango, which looks like he just has one hit left, but he's also going to have to watch all the cutscenes, which is really why the Lake Clip route is faster.
That's the big thing. So they basically finished what they had to do at the same time. So Chaos was talking to the lady and Coin just beat the boss. But now Coin is going to sit through this like 30 seconds of cut. 30 seconds until he's actually going to be able to hit the globe.
Yeah.
And yep, Chaospringle splitting and ending his timer. Very interesting. Probably not exactly what you wanted right there. This is, in fact, not the end of the run. We still got some ways to go.
Probably,
Aha,
oh,
there we go.
okay, all fixed now. But CoinKirby also now leaving Lake, and both these runners are headed off to the Wooded Kingdom, where we're going to be seeing some moon clip.
Yeah. Dude, this game is so intense now in its early game. Basically, the first like 5 kingdoms are crazy. There's a major trick in like everything. So starting with Cap, there's left side. Going into Cascade, there's first Moon Skip and Chest Clip. Going into Sand, obviously a ton of tricks. Into Lake now, Lake Clip. Wooded, Nut Clip. So much stuff happening in the early game.
Yeah.
And the late game is just as scary, obviously, but these major tricks coming up very early. And Chaos getting the Moonbird here. And actually the newest, hottest, recent discovery that we just basically proved to be true yesterday. And it looks like Chaos... I'm sorry. I thought he might actually go for it. But on the like highest level of play, it's actually a little bit better to get it, another Nut Moon at the right there. Chaos just passed it in the tree. Instead of the Piranha Moon, which is like a story moon that obviously once again has a lot of cutscenes. If you play perfectly, it would be better. But Chaos getting Nut Clip first try, very quick out of bounds move, not hesitating at all.
Yeah,
looks like
very fast.
Be...
Can you get above the wall though? And there you go.
Super
that
clean
was
from Chaos.
Very solid moon clip. CoinKirby also now approaching moon clip.
Yep. Let's see if this is going to work out for him. I know that he has been practicing this, actually not getting on top of the ledge there. Chaos is literally flying through the stage right now. Oh, this was way too low. So Coin is not going to be able to get Moon Clip here, which means he is probably going to be headed for the original wooded route, which involves him going into the pipeway.
Yeah. Unless he is going to be doing rock clip, but no.
Uh-huh.
Looks like he is just gonna go for the regular any % route.
Yeah, Chaos is playing really well now. Getting that roll cancel out of the maze, not hesitating, going for all the strats. Coin unfortunately not able to make that climb up, which is actually interesting approach. He might be going for his original wooded route, which involves him getting the checkpoint here, missing it there. But actually, everybody that starts out playing any %, I can highly recommend this route. It is so much easier to execute well on because you grab this checkpoint and then you basically warp back there after the pipeway to skip that like extra climb. Coin obviously fell, that wasn't intended by him, but if you just jump across, it's so much easier to play this route. Well, like you should either do this route or you should do Nut Clip. And Chaos actually not making the jump work, falling but saving himself.
Yeah, messing up Flower Road skip.
Very nice save actually.
Getting it on his second try though. Did lose a bit of time, but he should still be ahead.
Yeah, surely. Once again, it's obviously always a little bit hard to tell with these different routes happening at the same time. We do see Coin making his warp there. And that's highly recommended for a starter playing any % want to play. Would it play? Oh, Coin actually bonking there. That's obviously super unfortunate.
Yeah.
Since he did warp to the checkpoint, it's not going to be too costly. He will be kind of close.
Yeah, because usually you would be at the flooded pipes entrance if you didn't grab the checkpoint.
Yeah, exactly.
So didn't lose as much time as it could have, but definitely still a bit of a time loss. Chaospringle now going to be finishing off Wooded with these last few moons.
Yep, again.
Not doing Stewart.
Yet again skipping another of these bunny bosses, and that's actually so cool because back in the day we used to fight all of them basically. I mean, not Harriet and Sand, she was always kind of too slow, but Rango was Rango wasn't fought in snow, but there's actually a bunch of refights that are happening, and right now the only bosses that we are fighting is Topper at the very start, like optimally Topper at the very start, and then we basically don't fight any one of these like little bosses until we get to where we fight Speart right now. But that actually might be another boss we might cut in the future, so we might only be left with Speart, with Harriet and Topper.
Because there has been some new routes that kind of have people have been thinking about with luncheon and everything.
That might be the future.
There's the Bowser Brutals as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Yeah, obviously Topper and Harriet will always be a thing. So, I mean, we actually know they will Harriet first and Topper first gang. There will be an eternal battle between these two, because I think it actually was found out with like mods before that it's actually impossible to skip these. Even if you were to skip these, the boss fight wouldn't trigger like the mech fight, and you do need. I mean, you should never say never, but you do actually need to fight the mech to leave Bowser, as far as we know right now. So highly likely that Topper and Harriet will always be there. Chaos getting a pretty solid wooded split on his end there.
Yeah.
Definitely not obviously close to his like PB timings, but still very solid.
Meanwhile, CoinKirby is finishing off wooded. He does still need one more moon. He needs 4 moons, because I don't think he got the moon in the red maze, did he?
Wait, actually, now that you say it, he might have missed it.
Yeah, because he just grabbed the checkpoint.
You are supposed to get that moon. Oh, yeah, he missed it for some reason.
Yeah, because he's gonna be short 1 moon.
He is. The original intention of this warp route is obviously to get the maze moon, then grab the checkpoint, then go into pipe and warp back. But I think since he did fall there and his plans kind of got messed with, I'm assuming that he probably just forgot to grab maze there. So he is going to be needing to get another fast moon. I guess the fastest option from this particular position would be the tree, I guess.
Yeah,
that's probably where he said, oh, now he's going to realize.
He has enough moon. Ooh.
Yeah, one shot there. That's unfortunate. That means he's actually going to be sitting through 2 moon cutscenes. Wait, what? Where we? No, okay, never mind. That looked like a full seal, but wait, Coin, you can't leave.
Yeah, it looked pretty full.
Yeah.
Now he's realizing that he has forgotten a moon. Definitely going to lose some more time here. Meanwhile, Chaospringle, very solid cloud, moving on to Lost Kingdom, where we're going to be seeing Klepto skip, where we're going to skip the trigger for Klepto, because then we won't have to save Cappy.
Coin kind of sluggishly climbing this tree right there, not making it look too quick, but this moon might actually be seen in runs very soon. No, I'm not saying very soon, but it's potentially it is like theoretically the fastest option, and you guys will see it probably at some point in the game's life cycle. But Coin obviously getting this as a backup moon right now, not making it work too. But he is going to be able to leave Wooded Kingdom right now, and Chaos is already flying through Lost. Pretty nice movement so far. Flawless, I'd almost say. Lost is one of these very quick, very fast-paced kingdoms.
CoinKirby now moving to Cloud Kingdom. So he definitely is probably about 1.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes actually behind.
There is definitely some discrepancy. However, this game is very long, and we did see it all before. Chaos, obviously, pretty scary opponent, world record holder. Pretty dodgy early game on this one, but has been playing very well after basically entering Sand.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of kingdoms after this that Coin could still possibly get ahead.
Yeah, I do. It's probably worth mentioning that it's really up to Chaos to make a mistake that Coin can capitalize on. But it is really easy to make a mistake in these later game kingdoms, especially if you do want to play as well as possible, because that mostly means you do want to go for these hard threats. And if you mess up anything, that's the easiest one to mess up. Coin getting these head grabs here pretty solidly.
Yeah. Yeah, even if Coin plays very, very well in the end game, if Chaos does well as well, then it won't really matter. Chaos has to really make a mistake as well for Coin to get ahead. But Chaospringle now moving into Metro Kingdom.
Yep. So Chaos starting his journey off with a spin pound, and this is the most common option for the start of Night Metro. Night Metro still being the same. I think this might actually be one of the few places that hasn't changed since like November or maybe even late October. I do remember watching Valu run this game in a time where people got the slots moon in Metro, so the day route definitely changed. Night though looked kind of like this basically since the start of the speed run.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of options because we do need to end up doing Mecha Wiggler anyway, and just getting 2 moons along the way. Like, if it were to change, it would just be getting an extra moon or cutting out a moon before Mecha Wiggler.
And Coin, having actually a little bit of a mirror. Oh, Chaos actually almost falling here in the city. And this is one of these bigger mistakes that you can make in Night Metro, especially if you fall all the way. But he was able to recover himself. Not the biggest hit there on him.
Yeah, the
Coin
pole...
actually starting... Yeah, Poles is super weird. But Coin actually starting this loss off with kind of a miracle. He like bonked against the wall, but still made it up. So he is on his second life right now.
He's about halfway done with Lost. A little more than half. Meanwhile, Chaospringle, very solid besides that little pole problem, but now into the Mecha Wiggler fight.
The pole problem. Yeah, very unfortunate on that end, but definitely a pretty nice start there of his Mecha Wiggler fight. And if you guys are unfamiliar with Mecha Wiggler, I always like to bring up a little bit of RNG in this one. This guy kind of moves around, I guess not how he wants, but there's different patterns that he can take, and it is really like up to you to capitalize on it, or I guess react to it. It's not, the RNG can't really destroy you. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the harder bosses.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, if you start, well, and I kind of, this is a good opportunity for some reason to talk about this, like with the wooded rod earlier, but okay, let's see first if Chaos is able to get this 2-cycle. Very, very nice shot. Super very quick.
Clean.
But actually, most people that watch these high-level races here, these high-level gameplays, obviously this game is mostly about movement, but if you do want to start up, just know what you want to do at what place as far as movement goes, and then it's so important to practice these bosses. These bosses you can do so much time on these bosses, and they are pretty, I guess, okay-ish to practice. So Mecha Wiggler being one of the hugest ones, it should be super high up on your priority list. And Chaos losing connection to his controller, interesting.
But yeah, Mecha Wiggler is definitely a very hard boss when you start off. So you definitely want to practice it, and especially because at the very end of the run, if you mess it up, you could definitely lose several minutes sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure. It is crazy. You can potentially die there, especially if you're new to the game. But this is not a tutorial. This is a race, and Coin is actually about to pick up this first Night Metro Moon and Chaos' first Day Metro Moon. So they're basically, it's basically night and day between them. It's obviously not that bad, but Coin, unfortunately bonking, definitely being a little bit behind. Chaos is playing pretty solid now. It's definitely pretty hard for Coin to catch up at this moment, but this is one of the kingdoms where I guess consistency pays off most. I think most people admire Chaos for a very, very solid Metro, and this is his time to shine. Very nice spin point here. Let's see his movement. He's probably going to be picking up some musicians early now. Another semi-recent change to Metro. This is what we do. Oh, Coin actually very hot movement there to grab that chest. That kind of looked like smooth and click and quick. I know it looked like he skipped the wall jump. That looked actually so weird.
Yeah, but very quickly getting these musicians. CoinKirby now heading up to the Mecha Wiggler battle. Hopefully he'll be able to get a 2-cycle.
Very nicely done first phase here. First phase, only 3 shots to Chaos going over to So after that, Chaos is going to be going through these, through the arguably hardest part. No, it's not the hardest part of Metro, at least right now. It is definitely scary because you can lose a bunch of time on every single moon here. But once you are consistent with these jumps and this first one being kind of tight, Chaos actually not making it work here. But if you do fall on this section of Metro, a pretty big time loss is inevitable.
Yeah. CoinKirby did have a pretty solid Mecha Wiggler to get the 2 cycle. So that was good. So he will be now heading to Day Metro. Chaospringle not having a ton of moons left, only 5 moons left to grab, and then he will be leaving Metro.
Yep, and next thing will probably be Snow for him.
Yeah.
I actually haven't checked his coin code. I think he was good on it earlier, like 111 is what he had when he entered Day Metro, which is totally fine because he does need 100 in Snow.
So all he has to do is do the sub area, and then he can work back to the Odyssey and leave Metro Kingdom.
It is probably worth mentioning, though, that Snow is definitely one of the most influential parts of the run as far as a good run or a dead run goes, because Snowdram at the very end, even though top runners tend to be super consistent, at these days we do see misses now and then still. It is a super precise jump and it requires several hours. I'm pretty sure some runners put like maybe 50 hours just into the jump to gain consistency there.
Yeah, CoinKirby deciding to not do Scooter Clip, playing it a bit safe, but he did mess that RC car moon up quite a lot there.
Exactly. And Coin, for some reason, actually missing that capture up. This pole is kind of weird, just because this capture for some reason needs to be on camera when you shake for it. There's a lot of things going on in this game as far as camera is concerned. Sometimes things need to be on screen to be actually like existing, but sometimes there's like it's not for every capture. It's kind of weird. Some of them need to be on screen, some of them don't. But Chaos starting up Snow right now. He does have enough coins. For sure, he could even potentially die twice, which we won't really like. Which I at least don't really see happening.
No.
But he's good on that end.
And CoinKirby didn't actually do early musicians.
Yeah, this might be once again because he has been taking a little bit of a break recently. Just got into the game again because he still obviously enjoys playing it, but this musician early route saves around 2 seconds if you do it well, if you don't bonk, if you take good lines, but it is definitely not guaranteed, and if you are just more familiar or more confident on the old one, you might as well do that. But Chaos starting off nicely, pretty solid movement for the first moon here. Let's see what he's going to choose to do for this bridge, not doing any wall. And since he did get up this bridge early, we obviously know that he's going to be going for Snowdrop, which is to be expected from the world record holder.
Yeah.
Coin making his way over into this subroom. He does have 131 coins himself, so he won't really have any issues in Snow as well.
Yeah. Plenty of coins for both of them. Coin did have a little bit of bonk on that garbage can right there.
I did really like Chaos' movement there. Very quick dives, very quick spin pound to get that first secret moon. Pretty solid, pretty odd. Chaos about to enter this ceremony with a unintentional ground pound, but he is through. And with that, he is basically already done. with Coin is what I'm saying. Coin is basically already done with Metro. All you really need to do at this point is basically talk to people. I guess you do perform one spin point optimally at the little scrap part, but this, especially if you do musicians late, this is kind of the relaxed part. To be honest though, I can't tell you how many goals I choked back in the day to this section because I like bonked somewhere, but hey, that's just how the old Metro road goes. Oh, and Coin actually bonking exactly one of these places, trying to do the very quick spin point out of the long jump.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world, obviously. Bonking in this game, losing you. I actually never timed it super precisely. I just always went on the number of people were saying it loses like 2 seconds, but I have never precisely timed it.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of interesting to know.
Chaospringle now buying Moon, and then we're going to be seeing him do Snowdram. Meanwhile, CoinKirby just leaving Metro into Snow. So they're probably going to end up being about a Snow Kingdom apart. Very fast setup for Chaos. Can he make it though? And he did. Very smooth.
Very nice. Also with the quick spin, throw, jump to open that chest quickly. And that's actually something we do twice here at the very end as well. Chaos performing that to hit the globe. Nice no. Definitely what he wanted there. Not too many mistakes. And we do see basically Coin just arriving at the place. Chaos already leaving. Leaving Coin in the cold, in the blizzard. Wow, dude. That just has to be a Pringle D from me. But, I mean, other than that, Chaos is off to Seaside now. He's going to be chilling in the sun as Coin is about to destroy this Toad's house. These guys are just cruel.
Yeah.
And let's see though, because obviously Seaside, even though it is this chilled and relaxed, actually I guess at this point is if you look at all the top runners, most of them actually considers one of their least favorite kingdoms, just because how easy it is to mess up one of these early movements if you want to do them optimally. And then there is still this one thing that people have on mind for the Rocket Flower refresh. I don't think people are actually thinking about it at this point, but you can actually do what we call the Rocket Flower refresh with a single up throw instead of what currently we do like 2 ground pounds to basically assure we kind of get this refresh going that kind of resets the timer of the Rocket Flower to be able to walk across the water quickly. You can actually, I guess, kind of time it. As far as we know right now, there's only a window of 2 frames to make it possible. It would probably save around 3 or 2 seconds over the currently used strat, but I doubt that we are going to be seeing it here today.
Yeah. Oh.
So Chaos going for a pretty late ground, but he might actually attempt to just up throw into the moon, which would be interesting. No, playing it safe. Quick ground put into dive. Very nicely done, though. This was probably one of the more optimal ways to go for the double ground pound refresh.
Yeah.
And this actually looked like a pretty solid C-set from Chaos.
Yeah.
Early part looked clean. Other than that, all you need to do here is basically just play safe, I guess. Obviously, you do want to keep your speed with the fish, but the fish is all about not doing one of these, what we call fish bongs, where you basically hit a wall with the fish. It's not an exact bong. It still loses time, though. And then you just want to make clean lines, go from moon to moon without any mini detours, without any mini mistakes. Just play clean, play safe, and this Seaside should be a pretty good one. And Coin is also about to finish up Snow. It looks like he's actually gonna be Wait, he did get chop early. It looks like he's not going to be doing any Snowdram ideas, so he's probably just
No.
going to get into the Rango fighting arena room, and then instead of the actual Rango fight, he's going to pick up these.
Yeah. CoinKirby definitely playing this race pretty safe, only doing like single clip, deciding not to do scooter clip. Definitely kind of playing it safe.
For sure. And unfortunately, missing that story mode there, not the biggest deal, trying to go quick. You can actually roll cancel into these moons. If you do roll cancel in this game, you kind of get some additional height and went for there. Tiny time loss. But these things obviously add up. But Chaos is already done with Seaside here, and he is about to go into Luncheon. Probably one of the. I mean, to be honest, I feel like I say this for every kingdom now. But if we are real, like Luncheon is definitely the most scary kingdom. If I watch a very good, well-paced run, I don't really have hopes in it until someone gets out of Luncheon, because this is where dreams get shattered, or I guess they live on and potentially actually become reality.
Yeah, Luncheon definitely a trickier kingdom. CoinKirby now leaving Snow and heading to Seaside, so he is behind, we can say.
Yeah, Seaside obviously being a little bit of a shorter kingdom, but Chaos currently leading very nicely. He is about to actually fight one of these bosses again, and we did talk about it earlier that this one is actually currently not even in the wooded route anymore. One of the few bosses that we do still take on. It just kind of allows us to go through Lunch in the way that we currently do, because it really changes the state of the kingdom and progresses the story, which allows us to grab more moons. It is actually physically possible to skip this fight, but then most of the moons that are fast would actually not even appear in the later state of, like, in the later parts of Luncheon. So it is currently still the best to fight this guy, even though he only gives us a single moon, and he is by far the slowest single moon in the game. I guess if you do not count for the double boss fights in Bowser. But this one is, we know that that it is basically skippable, but it's still best to get this 50-second or like 52-second.
Yeah.
And Chaos, solid movement so far. I do like to say that Luncheon in this scary, but not as scary as it gets after you leave the sub room. This is where things get really, really hard, and especially this plaza section, Chaos, kind of showing what can happen to you here. There's a lot of these weird geometry things going on, like the polygon veggies there and like fruit. Sometimes they just send you into the direction in which you actually didn't plan to go. Chaos intentionally bonking into the pot to be able to hit the ground a little bit earlier, because he is going to be doing a backflip. There is some faster strategies there where you basically perform the moon clip movement, because if you guys have ever closely paid attention to moon clip movement, Mario kind of does a little warp to the top, like upwards, and if you do this and time this with the pot moon, you have enough height to be able to skip that backflip. But not really done currently. Chaos getting a very nice cycle there with the Podoboo, making that work without any camera manipulation, which is pretty tough and tight.
Yeah, Chaos now in the Forks room.
Very fancy room, especially if you do it as quick as Chaos. They're also flawless so far. Only one jump to come up, and this is probably the easiest one in the room.
Yeah. Very solid Forks room. And CoinKirby. Yeah. CoinKirby making some good progress in Seaside. Almost done with Seaside.
Chaos using the fireball or Podoboo here again to make his way over to this little turnip here. Obviously about to set up turnip clip or cheese skip. I guess that was the original name, because you do skip breaking the cheese and activating a lever here with this one.
Yeah.
doesn't go for the full-on, I guess, YOLO throw. Pretty quick one, though. Definitely nice turnip clip for him.
Yeah. That was pretty fast setup. CoinKirby getting his last moon, and then he will be heading to luncheon as well.
Okay, it was very nice. But this luncheon has been actually very good. And
Yeah.
other than the little mess up there after the overlooking the ingredients ground pound moon, where he was about to step up to the crate, and then the veggies kind of stopped him in his way. But other than that, this is a very solid luncheon.
Yeah. Definitely didn't really make any mistakes.
Clean movement for this.
CoinKirby also heading to luncheon as well, like we said. But Chaospringle is about to leave luncheon pretty shortly after this multi-moon cutscene.
Yeah, and this multi-moon being by far the best one to get in the run. And that is actually one of the main reasons why it doesn't currently make sense to skip the Speward fight. Just because this moon gives you 3 moons, warps you back to the Odyssey, and you don't have to fight anything. It's literally just jumping over and jumping across. And it is the easiest and most worth multi-moon to get. And if you don't fight Speward at the very start, this moon will not be... I mean, it will be possible to obtain, but only through like a very interesting kind of sequence break approach, which isn't able to fully do, which is what we call brunchen. But it's only possible if you go to luncheon like early and do like a weird painting jump. And luncheon is probably write a book about luncheon. But for now, we do fight Speward, and Coin is just approaching him.
Yeah. But the luncheon route could possibly end up changing in the future with, like we said, brunchian and everything.
Absolutely.
Very nice spirit fight by CoinKirby.
And with and Chaos approaching a pretty boring place called Ruined Kingdom, I do want to tell you guys about a pretty exciting place, obviously being YGG, our current sponsor for the Any% tournament, sponsoring all of these prize pools, making it possible for these runners to play for a pretty cool prize pool here and actually have some. And if you guys do want to check them out and do want to potentially do some betting on your favorite speedrunners, you can obviously do so using the referral link that you can find in the panel below. Obviously, making sure that you do have reached the legal age of betting in your country if it is a possibility there. And yeah, if you're interested, type an exclamation mark bet or check out the panel below. And with that, we do obviously have a pretty nice scenario here where we don't have to watch Chaos struggle through being Ruined Kingdom, and we can actually look at Coin's movement here through luncheon, which once again, this part is one of the most movement intensive ones in it.
Up a bit getting up to that moon. He did fairly jumped up to the first pillar, so we did have to get back up there. But pretty good luncheon so far.
Yeah, definitely. Coin, the backflip, the golden turn, the style player. Obviously not intended, but that did look pretty cool. Chaos already in the last phase of the fight. Is about to approach Bowser's Kingdom Arthur, which is the second to last kingdom, and probably the most nerve-wracking part of the run if it actually is on really good pace, because it is still very hard, and even though Moon is nothing to laugh about or nothing to consider easy, it's just a little bit, it is just not as extremely high action and high paced or fast paced as far as movement strats go, like the mech fight at the end.
Yeah. But Chaospringle having a very nice Ruined Kingdom, and then, yeah, he's going to be heading off to Bowser's Kingdom.
But other than that, obviously, Coin about to come at the turnip clip section as well. And if I do remember correctly, he was actually not the biggest fan at least back in the day. I'm pretty sure he did. He obviously knows how the trick works, which is all. This is almost like, but it looks like he is actually going to skip it. I definitely remember him not being the biggest of this trick. It is version exclusive. We do know that Coin is on version 1.0, so he's technically able to perform the trick, but just tends to be his, yeah, I guess he just likes doing it that way, doing the cheesy, because if you don't really know what you're doing with the turnip clip, it's actually pretty hard to save time with it.
Yeah. But he's just going to be doing the regular way of getting this moon. Chaospringle starting off Bowser's Kingdom.
Yeah, Chaos starting off Bowser's Coin, actually having a pretty solid cheese, and with that version surely making it pretty hard on himself to save time with it over, like with turnip clip over that one. He would have needed a pretty solid turnip clip to save time, but he in Bowser's about to come up on this first story moon here, and even though the game doesn't actually tell you they want you to get moons in this place, since we obviously played the game many times, we do know at the end of this escape, spoiler alert, to the Moon Kingdom, and so we do need 8 power moons to actually fill up the Odyssey to make it there.
Yeah, and you will get 6 moons by just completing the kingdom regularly, so we do need 2 extra moons.
And which ones you want is obviously up to you, but there is obviously some very fast ones, and they're actually about to come up after the second story moon. I do know that Chaos is a pretty fancy strat for the first of these, but let's see first, because Shards is one of the more movement intensive plays here, especially this strat right there. Chaos getting it. It's called the dive back strat, basically throwing Cappy back and using Cappy throw to turn around and diving back immediately. Very clean shots of nice throws, nice dives.
Shards can definitely be difficult sometimes, but that was very, very good by Chaospringle.
That was crazy clean and nice roll cancel jump there into the moon. Very solid shots. Not as good as it gets. That's almost always crazy, but he has to be happy about those. Look very good.
Yeah, and now we're going to be seeing the first moon that he's going to be getting in Bowser's Kingdom, which is going to be this moon that's on top of this rooftop.
And the way Chaos is going to do it here is he's basically going to spin pawn, throw Cappy back, and dive into him very quick as well. He's going to shake his controller now and then basically warp to this pylon. Very nicely done, super quick as well.
Yeah.
Wow, actually with the spin for roll cancel jump there as well, he's actually playing pretty insane here on this section of Bowser's.
Yeah.
And sadly, he is actually in the topper first gang. I cannot believe it. Once again, you do get the choice here to basically pick between 2 boss fights, and it doesn't really matter which one you would do. But I guess any community is kind of a meme to just have a favorite. And I think most of people actually do fight Harriet first. And spoiler alert, is actually in the official guide, it is told that you should go to Harriet first. But just saying, I mean, obviously not saying that I'm in Harriet first gang. I mean, I am. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. Chaos repping the topper first gang and having a clean fight.
Chaos going for some of the first person strats. CoinKirby also in Moon Kingdom now, doing the dragon.
Yeah, definitely pretty relaxed plays. Obviously, the game doesn't really want you to relax there, play some very intense music and throws a big dragon in front of your face. But if you speedrun, it is literally probably the most relaxed you can get in the run.
Yeah. Kind of just a little bit of a break before you have some intense things going on in Bowser's.
And Chaos, his boss refights here, we did talk about these 2 earlier. They are basically completely necessary to even progress the kingdom. You cannot even skip them physically. It is not possible. There's an invisible wall on the other side, and even if you could break that wall, the boss fight wouldn't even trigger. So this one, probably not happening. The Speedrun one in Luncheon, that actually might happen at some point. Anyways, Chaos is done with this, and he is gonna get his second additional moon outside of all these story moons and the boss fight moon. Boss fight triple moon,
which is the one to get this moon behind.
Wow. What? That was crazy. He like didn't lose speed at all. He like, what? That was great. And from the crates to the moon, he like didn't lose time.
CoinKirby finishing off the dragon fight, and he will be moving on to Bowser's as well. Meanwhile, Chaospringle about to approach the Mecha Wiggler fight.
And as always, Mecha Wiggler being definitely super intense. How good a pace, how close a race is. There's a Mecha Wiggler, obviously Mecha Brutal, obviously super intense at all times. And Chaos is going to be going for this backflip climb. He looks like he gets it very nicely into a spin on top of Rango. The second one in his sights is going to be Topper. Quick spin pound. Gets
very nice.
And now it's intermission time. We do have to wait a little bit here before the fight opens up more. What toppers do these days is they basically focus their eyes on Harriet, the bubble on top, to then snipe a ground pound on her as soon as the mech stops into a very quick attack on Spearheart at the very end, which is actually kind of called these days, it's called target acquired, because what you really do is you set up here, you acquire the target, you have Spearheart in your sights, quick dives, quick spin pounds, target acquired, and you get him. Very nice from Chaos.
Yeah. Very solid. Meanwhile, CoinKirby just starting off Bowser's Kingdom.
This is kind of a reoccurring theme now. I mean, obviously, like, Chaos basically finishing up the very Coin opening up the kingdom. He's still doing well for himself, though obviously Chaos being literally the best player in the world, and I'm pretty sure Coin's PB is 106, which this one wouldn't even be that bad for him. I'm thinking, like, Bowser's is obviously pretty long. It's around, like, 7 minutes, like 40 seconds optimally right now. You can get better, obviously, but this is like the common good time for it.
Yeah.
Chaos might have gotten something like this one. He might actually have like golded the early part. Now that I'm thinking back, I can't remember a mistake. The bunny section. I mean, obviously his gold has been really good, but thinking back, he was playing very good.
Yeah, and now he is moving on to Moon Kingdom, the final kingdom in the game.
Absolutely. And looking at the timer, oh, Coin unfortunate bonk there. Obviously not a bonk you would die of. But looking at Chaos' timer right now, we can kind of predict a realistic final time for this one. Looks like his moon split is gonna be a 56-13. And a very good moon takes around like 5 minutes and 15 seconds. That's the very best moons you can get, though. So he's still on mid 101 pace, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Very solid time.
CoinKirby having a bit of trouble with these shards. Definitely, like we said, can be very tricky, these shards sometimes.
But yeah, looking back, Chaos's Bowser's definitely being super impressive.
Yeah.
I think it might have been a goal. I don't know his goal, but I can't really think of too many mistakes. And Coin actually doing it for the people, getting the glory hole moon. Obviously, only meaning this whole. Okay, I'm actually not gonna get into it. This can't go well. But yeah, this moon is actually a little bit slower than the one that you can get from the crates.
Yeah.
It is just very safe.
Yeah. But CoinKirby definitely wants to play it safe for the rest of the Chaospringle. Now approaching Moon Cave Skip, which is the biggest skip in the game. It skips the whole Moon Cave section and see like
it's gonna be
5 minutes or something. But Chaospringle is messing that up, but gets it easily. Second try.
Yeah. It's going to be a Pringle D from me. But obviously, Moonskip not being completely free, you do need to basically hit the right spots at the wall, and it is possible to fail it. Chaos not making that work. Obviously, not a real incentive for him at this point in the run. It is definitely still possible for him. Okay, let's actually not say that. But he is still on pace to get a 101 time, which is something that he would probably be happy with.
Yeah. CoinKirby also going for Topper first.
I can't believe it. What am I watching? What are these guys doing? I can't believe it. Both runners going for topper first, clearly not knowing how to play the game. But, I mean, what can you do? Some people you can teach. But anyways, Chaos already on the second phase of the Bowser fight. Still looking at that 101. Other than this moon skip, this moon hasn't been... There has not much been going on. Obviously, moon in this early part, pretty easy, pretty linear. Obviously, it's hard to actually be optimal, but really big mistakes either result into in like a death, which is obviously terrible, or just a missed moon skip attempt or like a bonk or something, so that's fine. And this is going to be it from Chaos here. These last punches on the way. Just one more array of punches. Another jump. Punches. Boom. Bowser defeated. Chaos is on his way towards that escape section. And since I mean, just as we brought up earlier, he is probably looking at around a 1:01:40 time, which would be pretty optimal.
Very good time, especially in a race setting.
Coin also done with his boss refights now, picking up that story moon. And Chaos is approaching the 2D section of Escape, which is very notorious for being an early run killer these days. It is not really seen that people lose runs there or people even lose time there. We did figure out how to do this quickly and how to do this trick consistently. However, there's always going to be a possibility of someone messing this jump up called the 2D skip.
Yeah.
But not Chaos on this one.
And CoinKirby actually using the Pokio in this section.
And actually very nice to bring up here that Chaos is probably on pace, just barely still, to be able to get GSA SMO, because I'm pretty sure that's currently being held by Sega with a 101:52, if I remember correctly. Maybe a 55 actually. But Chaos is still barely on pace to get a 4x. So basically there, if he does get this early kill. And these shots did look good. He's actually able to make that work out.
Yeah.
This would obviously be very exciting. I do think that we are going to be seeing an improvement of this, I guess, GSA record as far as any percent Odyssey goes, because with all of these high-level players still coming up and still having the potential to even improve this time, I'm very sure Chaos is not going to be ultimately happy with this performance. Coin actually getting an interesting, different moon here, actually not required at all. I guess just wanted to try it out. Anyways, 1-4x, getting the capture right here, probably even going to be a really low one. And Chaospringle taking the win, the world record with the 1:01:42, actually the best SMO any percent time that we've seen on Global Speedrun Association. Very nice.
Yeah. CoinKirby now on the Mecha fight.
And even though Coin obviously is going to take a lose in this one, I do want to remind you guys this is actually double elimination. So if you do want to see more of the glory hole and the topper first gang from Coin, you definitely will get a chance to see him play another match. I mean, I'm actually not completely sure the bracket is looking at this point, but it's not going to be the end of Coin yet. Chaos taking the win here, obviously. But yeah, I guess it was he was definitely the heavy favorite. He might even be one of the favorites to win the entire thing. So definitely not the biggest surprise, but Chaos actually not playing up to his level. Oh, Coin actually falling off mech there. He is still at 2 HP now after taking one hit. Whenever you fall, you obviously do lose a pretty hefty amount of time. It is way more important, though, that you stay kind of healthy to be able to, yeah, I guess, finish up. Fight without dying. Looks like Coin was able to end up his fight there without death. Okay, I was actually getting some connection issues right there. Sorry for the quick pause. But looks like Coin is actually going to be calling it here at this point. Obviously still having to go through Moon Kingdom. Basically, I mean, that's at least the word that I got right now from behind the scenes. So he is probably going to be just saying, I'm going to stop here. Chaos is going to get that win. And we are going to be switching over to another Super Mario Odyssey very shortly. Before we do, I obviously do want to shout out YGG again, our great sponsor here, sponsoring the prize pool of this tournament, of the 80% tournament. If you do want to get into some action as far as like betting on your favorite runners go, you can do that over there if you have reached the legal age, if that's an option. And you can do so by checking out our referral link in the panel below or typing an exclamation mark. But we will go into another quick intermission before we go over to the Team Bingo Showcase tournament. I'm actually going to be participating in it myself, being a router for Team Sleepless. Shout out to Team Sleepless. It's currently 2:50 a.m. in Germany, so definitely being true to the name. But quick intermission, and then it's going to be time for another race.